February 20th, 1993. A line of people stretched for blocks outside a gleaming white building in La Jolla, California. They had come to see something most Americans had never seen before, and might never see again. Over the next 6 weeks, 720,000 people walked through those doors. Then the doors closed, and for 33 years, they did not open again. Until June 18th, 2026. What is inside that building that makes people drive 90 minutes just to see it? Same city, same building visible from Interstate 5 for 3 decades. Millions of drivers passed it every year. 2 white spires rising above the freeway, the Angel Moroni gleaming at the top. And yet, almost no one had ever been inside. How does a building stand in plain sight for 33 years and remain one of the most private spaces in America? And what does it mean that its doors are finally open again, for just 3 weeks? Welcome to the Caelustra. We look at history and faith with care and respect. No agenda, just evidence, and the long arc of how a remarkable institution rose and endured. To understand why this open house matters, you have to understand what a temple actually is, and what it is not. Most people assume it is simply a church, a place where Latter-day Saints gather on Sundays to worship. That assumption is wrong. The meeting house, the building where Sunday services happen, is open to everyone always. Any visitor can walk in on any Sunday and sit in any pew. The temple is different. It is not used for Sunday worship at all. It is used for sacred ordinances, ceremonies that Latter-day Saints believe connect families across time, including baptisms performed on behalf of deceased ancestors, and sealings that unite husband and wife and parent and child for eternity, not just for this life. To enter a dedicated temple, a member must hold what is called a temple recommend, a small card issued after an interview with their bishop, confirming their faith and commitment to church teachings. Think of it like this. A concert hall and a recording studio might sit in the same building. One is open to the public every night. The other is where the real work happens, and you need a reason to be there. The temple is the recording studio. Sacred work, done quietly, by people who have prepared for it. Before a temple is dedicated, however, there is always a window. A brief, open house, during which anyone, member or not, may walk through and see every room. San Diego's window opened on June 18, 2026. It closes July 11th. The groundbreaking for the San Diego, California temple took place on February 27, 1988. President Ezra Taft Benson presided. His second counselor, President Thomas S. Monson, dedicated the site. Construction took 5 years. The design was unusual, Gothic-inspired, with 2 main spires and 4 smaller ones, built on 7.2 acres just off Interstate 5 near La Jolla. The exterior was made of marble chips set in plaster, giving it a distinctive white glow visible for miles. The architects were a Roman Catholic couple, Dennis and Shelley Heinemann, working alongside church architect William S. Lewis. The Heinemanns had never entered a Latter-day Saint temple before being hired. They were, in their own words, really in the dark, until they toured the Las Vegas, Nevada temple for reference 3 years into the project. But here is what most people miss. The design they created became one of the most recognized landmarks in San Diego. The city's own press club named it Headliner of the Year in the Landmark category for 1993. The Public Relations Society of America gave the church a Silver Anvil Award, their highest honor for special events, for the Open House campaign. A non-Mormon architect, a Catholic design firm, and the result was a building that San Diego's own city architect called a big asset to San Diego. Here is the lesson. Sacred spaces do not require secrecy to be special. They only require sincerity. But 1993 was only the beginning. What happened over the next 33 years is the part of this story nobody tells. The temple was dedicated in 23 sessions from April 25 to April 30, 1993. President Gordon B. Hinckley presided over 13 sessions. President Thomas S. Monson presided over the other 10. In his dedicatory prayer, President Hinckley said, "To the millions who will see it as they move swiftly over the adjacent highway, may it be a thing of singular beauty from which shall emanate a spiritual glow." For 30 years, that prayer was the temple's quiet promise to the city around it. Visible, present, but closed. Then on July 31, 2023, the temple closed again, this time for extensive renovation. Roof leaks were repaired, windows were replaced. The interior was reconfigured for better accessibility. New stained glass windows were installed. Crystal chandeliers were added to several rooms, including the celestial room. Here is the quiet detail. The renovation took nearly 3 years. During that time, approximately 50,000 Latter-day Saints in San Diego County had to travel significantly farther to attend temple services, some driving hours each way to reach the nearest open temple. Local stake president Neil Walton described the reopening simply, "This is a once-in-a-generation opportunity. Here is the lesson. The things we close for renewal often come back more beautiful and more appreciated than before." So what do visitors actually find when they walk through those doors? On June 18, 2026, approximately 1,200 visitors per hour lined up outside the temple. By the time the open house began, nearly 250,000 people had already registered online. One visitor drove 90 minutes from Riverside just for the tour. "We came down just for this," he said. Inside, visitors receive shoe coverings at the entrance. Cameras are not permitted. They move through rooms they have never seen, and in most cases will not see again until a future renovation opens the doors once more. The celestial room spans 2 levels. It is designed to represent heaven, or at least one idea of what heaven might feel like. Crystal chandeliers, white furnishings, silence. Church member Drew Page described what the space is meant to be. "What happens in here is not secret. It's sacred to us after the building is dedicated." Elder Neil L. Anderson of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles said at the Open House News Conference, "The temple is the most sacred place on earth to us as members of the church. It is a place of holiness, of peace, of revelation. It is a testament to us of the immortality of the soul." But here is what most people miss. The temple is not just a building for current members. Its most unusual practice, performing ordinances on behalf of deceased ancestors, means that in Latter-day Saint theology, every person who ever lived may eventually benefit from what happens inside these walls. The 1993 open house drew California Governor Pete Wilson. The 2026 open house drew 1,200 visitors an hour on its first day alone. Here is the lesson. When sacred things are briefly made visible, people discover that curiosity and reverence can live in the same room. The temple will be rededicated on August 23, 2026. After that date, the doors will close again to the general public, perhaps for another generation. Step back from the San Diego story, and a pattern becomes visible across every temple open house in church history. First, scarcity creates meaning. The temple is not a museum. It is not a tourist attraction. Its brief openness before dedication is precisely what makes the open house feel significant, to members and visitors alike. Second, visible beauty serves an invisible purpose. The San Diego Temple has stood alongside Interstate 5 for over 30 years. Millions of drivers have seen it without knowing what it was. The open house converts curiosity into understanding, not necessarily belief, but at least familiarity. Third, sacred spaces built for one community often become landmarks for an entire city. The San Diego Press Club named it Headliner of the Year. A Catholic design firm helped build it. A state governor toured it. The institution that built it did not set out to create a civic landmark, and yet that is exactly what it became. Fourth, renewal is not just physical. The 3 years of renovation were not simply about new windows and chandeliers. For the 50,000 Latter-day Saints who traveled farther for temple worship during the closure, the reopening carries a weight that no visitor from outside the faith can fully measure. There is something quietly remarkable about a building that stands in plain sight for 33 years and remains, to most people who pass it, a mystery, not because it hides anything, but because what it holds is simply not meant for every moment or every visitor, only for those who have prepared, and for the 3 weeks before dedication when the doors briefly open and the world is invited to look. Nothing here is secret, Elder Anderson told the journalists gathered on June 18th. It is sacred to us. That distinction between secret and sacred is one that many institutions have forgotten how to make. The San Diego Temple has not. So here is the question worth sitting with. In a world that demands transparency about everything, what is lost when we decide that some spaces should remain quietly set apart, and what is found? A temple that stood visible and closed for 33 years opened its doors for 3 weeks, and 250,000 people registered to walk through. If that kind of history moves you, subscribe to the Caelustra. One video at a time, we find the stories that deserve to be told.